Patrick Rooney here with oldschoolus.com. Yes, it's been a little while since I've done a video. Apologize. I am doing what I can. I do have to pay the bills, so I've got to hustle right now. And unfortunately, I'm not able to just do videos and get paid. I am supporting myself to some degree through that, but it is quite limited at this point. You can go to the description in this video to see how you can support me one time or monthly, and I appreciate that very much. I want to talk a few minutes here that it's been raining, the power's gone out here in Tennessee, it's getting dark, days are getting shorter. I wanted to put out at least something to give you a little bit of an update and something I'm thinking about right now as the week comes to a close. The question is, why can't everybody see the evil that is at play in our society right now? I know some of you are out there just saying, wow, I mean, there is just pure evil overtaking the globe. And you are right, it is happening. There's no question about that. But strangely, there are people, let's call them on the other side, who don't see that. In fact, they are guilty of perpetuating evil, but don't see that evil that they are themselves perpetuating. A lot of very smart people, a lot of the smartest people can be evil. I mean, look at Lucifer, right? Lucifer was the brightest angel, and being bright and smart really has nothing to do with being evil other than giving you more of a propensity to be evil because you think you're smart and you're smarter than God. So, of course, there's a powerful army right now arrayed against President Trump and against the United States in general. A lot of people that are part of that army don't see that they are tearing down the United States, even though it's so clear to the rest of us. You have all of these people are working together as part of the army, and I don't consider them any different in terms of what they're doing. Some of them are more radical in approach, but that is what they do. In an army, you have your shock troops, you have your ground troops, you have your air troops, you have your generals, making the moves for other people. You have people that are the Tokyo Roses of this world, who are kind of like the media people who are trying to skew things and make the public believe certain things. All of that is part of the army. You have your swamp creatures of various kinds. You have the political people. You have generals even. You notice that the media is trying to get the generals to separate from Trump. A lot of them already have separated from Trump because they're swamp people. They are proponents of endless wars. They make their money and their power off of endless wars. The last thing they want to see, some of these people, are our soldiers going home finally and less wars. When peace breaks out, there are some people in this world, including some generals, who are very unhappy about that. You see all this, you see the NFL falling apart. You see, I mean, they're all part of one team. You see Netflix and their cuties. The pedophiles are part of this as well. Everybody has a home in the evil army, right? And they all have their part to play. So why do we see this clearly? Some of us see this evil, but many do not see the evil. Now, I could easily say, well, it's brainwashing. It's brainwashing, and they simply don't see because they are brainwashed. Technically, that's true, but some of you may not believe me if I say brainwashing and you just, oh, okay, forget it. Brainwashing. No, you're saying we're brainwashed. But it really is brainwashing. But how does brainwashing really happen? Well, that's we're starting to get to the nitty-gritty here. And brainwashing comes to us through our emotions. When we have our reason, we can see straight. We know exactly what is going on. And we can see totally clearly. But when we have been caused to emotionally respond, yes, I'm getting rain as I speak right now. Hopefully my equipment can handle a little bit before I finish. When we are caused to become angry and we start to lash out, we don't see as clear and everything starts to flip around on us. Early trauma comes to play. And really that's done, I mean, we could do a whole video, I could do a whole hour or two on this, and some of you already know this, but think about it. Think about the communities that are most effective, that the shock troops are being used from these communities, like the black community. What do you have there? You have a lack of fathers. We've talked about this before. Fathers, either the fathers are not in the home, or they are bad fathers, like people like Jacob Blake's father. They're bad fathers, and They are bad examples. And so either way, you have a problem. When you have an empty father pulls back in the home, the mother is often very angry at the father, who either is there and isn't performing up to snuff, or is simply not there and has stuck her with the family. And the child sees this, his emotions or her emotions get ripped apart. Those emotions can be played with as that young person becomes older and becomes an adult. So obviously there's a lot of people who talk about God in the society as well, but don't live it. They don't live the right way. And that is called hypocrisy. Hypocrisy is rampant in our country as well. And that happens on all sides. It's happening on the left, and it's also happening on the so-called right as well. I understand that. That's a problem. Kids hate hypocrisy. And when you hate hypocrisy, you often grow up to become the hypocrite. Major problem with the churches. The churches, I'm talking about solutions today. I'm trying to go after the more deeper problems so we can fix them. We can talk all we want about this happened today's news, this happened today's news, look at all this stuff. There's plenty of stuff that needs to be uncovered. I'm trying to get to the nitty-gritty here. The school, the church, for instance, the churches are very, very weak today. That's obvious. So the churches have been removed. This is another item that we don't have that we used to have back in the day that gave us stability, the churches. Next thing I would say is the schools. The schools is huge. The schools is huge. People who are consider themselves good give up their children to the school system. They give them over from what? The age of, when parents want to start going to work, they don't want to stay, mothers don't want to stay home with their children. What does that start with? Age 4, younger? You can have your child gone all day at a school. Somebody else is teaching them, putting their ideas into their brains and hearts and their souls, doing that on a constant basis. Times that by how many years through the school system? Times it by, there are kids that go to school all the way through high school. Then they're in college and they're getting their teachers are filling their heads full of whatever it is that they want to fill them with. Some even go to graduate school. They're not even out of school till they're 23, 24 years old or something. They could be in school from the age of 20, from the age of 4 to the age of 24. For 20 years. You could be brainwashed for 20 years and have somebody besides you as a parent teaching your kid. You wonder why they turn against you and why they turn against America? You're not watching them. Another thing here is work. Used to be people worked. Now there are still some people obviously who work in this country and around the world. Obviously work is being done, and thank God Trump is bringing people back to work right now. But there are a lot of people that were quite content through COVID and other means to keep people from working. A lot of people out there rioting are getting paid to riot. They're getting some type of welfare or some kind of money coming from somewhere. They're not doing real work. They're getting paid some type of a stipend to be what you more or less would call a professional soldier. That is going on. That should be cut out as well. I'm throwing things out here to you, thinking about all of the underpinnings of what is pinning this evil that's going on and this brainwashing that's going on in our society. All of these things are underpinnings that we need to start examining and start peeling back the layers, okay? Now, after you've done all these things, you've screwed up with your kids. Sorry, but a lot of you have. Everybody has to some extent or another. But thankfully, some of us have seen where we've gone wrong and are able to kind of come back. And that is a blessing. But many are not coming back. They just keep getting worse. So you screw up your kid, you give them over to a school system, they're gone. You give them over to, you go to phony churches that don't do anything and don't believe in what they used to believe in. They don't have the grit that churches used to have back in the day. We've lost so much. Then what happens in the end? The culture finishes them off. The culture is out there. The kids are just plugged in 24/7 into the culture. And the culture is Netflix, right? Netflix and feeding the pedos out there. It is corrupt, it's horrible, and it goes into the mind. Even if you watch good content and you just watch your TV, and you kept getting your commercials every 7 minutes or whatever it is. The commercials are just going at you at lightning speed. Think of all the things that are going into your head. Even as an adult, you can't handle that. Think of what's happened to the children as they go up through young adulthood. They can't handle this stuff. So the culture finishes them off. The culture takes the young people's anger that started against their parents and it moves it against whoever it is that the culture wants to hurt. America, go for it. Anger towards America. Anger towards white men. Okay? Anger towards the patriarchy. Okay? Anger towards whatever. Christianity. Towards Jews. Towards people that don't look like you or sound like you. You get the picture. The culture will finish them off. And right now we have a very sick and evil culture. We need to start unplugging from these things. We need to start unplugging, and we need to start plugging back into ourselves, into the still, they call it the still small voice within, which is what you reach when you pray to God. When you pray and meditate, you bring yourself back into finding reason again. Okay? When you forgive others for what they've done to you, when they are wrong, and everybody has something to complain about. Everybody has something that they need to forgive. That's just the way our society has been made. God set it up, I believe, like that for us, that we are required to come back to Him. We need to forgive, and we need to find something within that can straighten us out again, something that gives us a way to see. Other than that, we are finished as a culture. We've got to stop sacrificing our children, and we need to start leading. Quit letting the other side, the crazy side, quit letting them lead. Why do you think things are going their way? Because they're leading everything. They're teaching the children. They're in charge. They are running the cities. They're running the police departments. They're running things. They're running the social media, which is so unfair to us. We don't have our own good, solid social media. We have brains too. We need to come back to leadership. This is what we were born for. We are so out of touch right now with who we were born to be. We need to come back. Anyway, yes, the elections are coming up soon. Yes, I'm 1,000% behind Trump. I have to be. There is no other side to that. There is Trump or chaos. There is Trump over here with all he's done, and most of you have no idea what Trump has done because the media is not telling you, and you haven't done the research yourself to find out. And then on the other side, you have absolute chaos, and I know some of you can't see that. But we've got to come back. We've got to vote in Trump, yes. But the real work will happen even after Election Day. Yes, after we figure out what's going on with this crazy election and the mail-in balloting and all the ways they are going to try to steal the election from Donald Trump. God willing, we will get through all that. And once we are done with that, the real work actually will begin. We must take back our culture, which starts with taking back ourselves. And if we do not do so, hell is coming. Hell is coming on this earth, and we will be the reason it happened. The so-called good people who did nothing will be the reason that hell is introduced on this earth. And it is coming. It is slowly coming. You can see what's happening unless we do what we need to do and start. God is showing us evil right now. He is showing us everything that's going on. Thank God for that. It's amazing what He's doing, but we have to step up and do our part. We have to do something. We can't expect God to just take everything back for us and us to do nothing. All right, I said enough. I want to get this out tonight, hopefully, and it's getting late and it's getting rainy, but I would like to get this out. So forgive that I'm not going to have a lot of pictures and fancy things today. I just want to get you a straight message. I haven't been out there for a little while. I want to be out there as much as I can. I hope that you subscribe to my channel, ring the bell so you can get the videos when they come up. Feel free to share and like this video so other people will see it. The more you like it, the more people will see it out there. To support my work, what I'm doing, I do need more support to do this more. There's just no question about it. I can't do it unless I get the support. So go to the link in the description. It'll show you how to support me with a one-time donation or a monthly donation, either through Subscribestar or through my own website. You can do it either way, whatever's comfortable for you. Thank you so much for being with me. I hope that some of this gets through to you. I'd love to hear your feedback. One of the things that's important to me is hearing feedback. Are you hearing the message? Do you hear what I'm saying? Does it resonate with you? Do you think that I'm way off? I don't, either one, whatever it is, I'd like to hear your feedback. And give me something that I can talk to. Don't just throw something out at me or whatever. But if you disagree or something, give me something that I can actually answer. All right? And if you support me, so much the better. Thanks so much for being with me today. I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thank you.